Hello everyone. So today we are going to do another social studies video on Japan during the Heian Kyo time period. I know that these can be a little bit drawn out and a little bit not fun, but thanks for sticking it out. I know distance learning isn't always the easiest thing, nor is it always fun because it's just basically a pile of homework. But we're gonna get started. Today, you should have out your ranks, social positions in the Heian court, ranks and social classes during the Heian Kyo time period. If you are unfamiliar with social class, during feudalism, we had lords, vassals on the top. If you remember that video that I made of myself as a king in the fur coat, being a lord, and underneath him were peasants, were people who were kind of less important. And yeah, in actuality, all of these ranks are really important. You can't have a king without his subjects, and you can't have a working order in government, in society, without every piece of the puzzle. However, in Japanese culture, there are 9 different social classes. 9. And I think in America, we have this idea that you can move up or down in rank in social class, right? You can make a lot of money during your lifetime and move up the ladder. Sometimes our family situation, our life situation, the situations that we're kind of born into sometimes can dictate how easy it is to move up and down on the social ladder. But it's kind of an open market as you get older, right? The decisions you make will play a big part of what social class you will end up in. In Japanese culture, it worked a little bit differently. You could not move up or down your social rank. You were stuck. My mom told me that if I were living in Korea, in the family I was born into long, long ago during this medieval time period, I would have been a peasant, and it would have been impossible for me to move out of my peasant life. Let's say I'm the emperor, queen, and I am going to basically fill out the social rank system and how it goes. As the emperor, I get to decide who the high-ranking officials are. The high-ranking officials fill up the top 3 slots of the social pyramid. Remember, there are 9. And so the top 3 spots are taken up by people, nobles, officials, who were specifically chosen by the emperor himself. The less important nobles, the people who were like, just not good enough to be in the top 3 tiers, filled out the 4th and 5th slot. So they're still nobles, they're still wealthy, they still have everything they need to live a good life, but they're just not as important as the top 3 slots of the social pyramid. So they're in the 4th and 5th slots. People in this rank got things like land from their emperor, rice farms. Rice farms are huge. As an Asian, I can attest that we eat a lot of rice, and rice is then sold and traded all over the world. So of course, that's going to be a valuable market and piece of land to have. They also got taxes from peasant farmers. So they're getting money from the people underneath them. So it was very, very, very desirable to be in the top 5 slots of the social pyramid. So in modern day America, you could say that a lot of the people who are considered smart and rich are probably going to be people, stereotypically of course, people like lawyers and doctors and educators, well, like professors and people like that, officials, experts. Those people who are kind of what we consider to be the wealthy class in modern day America filled out the 6th through 9th parts of the social ladder. So they weren't super high up. Being a noble is far more desirable than being someone who's smart during this time. Now, there are 9 major classes in their class pyramid, but within each class, they had subclasses, which means that, so in the top 3 ranks, those are nobles and high officials, and those people, within that group of people, there are the richer of the group, right? There's the more powerful within the same group. So let's say I have a group of doctors who fill up the 8th rank in the social pyramid. Well, these group of doctors, there are going to be people who are who have worked in the medical field longer, so they're going to be higher ranked than those who just started. So even though there's 9 main ranks, if you total the amount of sub ranks within each group, there are about 30 sub ranks. So there's 9 main groups, but within each group, there's a order. There are the people who are richer, there are the people who are more educated, the people who have more power within each section of the social pyramid. So just because you're in the highest part of the pyramid, the first rank, does not mean you have the most power out of everyone or that everybody in your group has the same amount of power. There are people who are wealthier, who are more powerful than somebody else within the same group. So you could tell what rank people were in according to what they had. So the types of houses, obviously, even nowadays, you can tell who's wealthier simply by the car they might drive or the house they might own, right? Similarly, these things are very superficial, and they were indicators of who was wealthier and who had higher rank. The amount of servants you had, how many folds your fan had, believe it or not, people with a higher ranking had, if you ever seen, take a piece of paper, fold it up accordion style, open it up, and you got yourself a fan, right? You call those folds. If you're a higher ranking official, you have 25 folds. If you are lower, you might have 23 folds. And that's how people could tell whether or not you were wealthy. Also, different things like the height of your gate in front of your house. You can only have a certain height of your gate if you are according to your class. So the higher you are, the higher your gate could be. It determines what colors you are allowed to wear as a noble. If you got in trouble with the law, if you had a higher rank, your sentence would be less than somebody who committed the same crime but was in a lower rank than you. So basically, the quality of life that you had was determined by the rank that you belonged to.